There's a new thing to collect. More kudos. Oh, I don't want to buy things. More junk to buy. I don't want to play anymore. Yeah, this is the really addictive one. See, because I think Stumble Guys would be more addictive if I played it on the phone. But I can't because of the size of my phone and everything. I can't really play it. But on the console, Stumble Guys they don't put the same work into it they put into the mobile version, and it doesn't have the same stuff on it. I was just a slush. Oh, I see. I'm confused. This just looks like I see. Maybe if I was a different color, I'd be able to make better sense of this. Yeah. Okay. So let's try a different color so I can figure out how slush works. Let's move on to blue and pink. Yeah, looks good. You look good, girl. All right. So now let's try the slush. No, no. Oh, damn it. Why? Why is everything so hard? No, no. Blue and pink. How do I do blue and pink? There we go. Save it. All right, there we go. Tropic like it's hot. Yeah. Who cares? Oh, there's slush. Now you can see it. It's kind of cool. I think it's the thing that I want the most. I don't think I care that much about these glizzy bands. And I don't care about these dino stoppers either. I don't think I want it. No, just buy it anyway. Alright, there we go. Now I have it. Can't make any more decisions. I like this color. But I have the peach. I think it's the same thing. I have orangeade also. Similar. But the peach, it's orange and red, right? Gingerbread. I have gingerbread that's similar also. Peach punch, jeez. Oh, oh my god, just, can I just, um, where am I? Okay, I'm up to Gumball. But let's look at the peach punch. Oh my god. I got too many colors, man. This, this is crazy. It's unpleasant, this feeling. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? I basically already have that color. Yeah, screw it. I'm not getting Tropic Like It's Hot. Tropic Like It's Hot is the same thing as Peach Punch. They're trying to sell too many of the same colors over and over again. It's just shiny or orange. Screw it. I think I should just get it. There we go. I just got it, and then who cares? Just make it go away. All right. Now we are something or other. Play some craft. Oh. I think today's the day where I stop playing Fall Guys religiously. Like, this is too much. I just can't keep doing all this garbage. I just don't care anymore, you know? I don't know. I feel like it's negatively impacting my life. I play this game all the time to get all this stuff done, and it was fun at first, but the longer I play it for, the less I like it. Okay. So I have explore tasks, qualify and explore. But I also have creator spotlight tasks. I feel like explore is going to give me more. Because explore gives me 4,000, creator spotlight gives me 3,000. So let's do explore then. So I'm going to jump and explore. I'm going to jump and explore. That's it. Okay, just jump and explore. Okay, great. So I go to explore and jump around like an idiot and not enjoy it. And that's how I'm spending my morning. So that I can collect a bunch of crap. Does that sound fun to you? That's because it's not. This is what freaking live service games is. Do not be like me and get addicted to live service games. Right, but this is the end. I'm not gonna do all the crap today. But I'm gonna do a little bit of crap as I say goodbye to this game. I think, hopefully. And that's what I'm doing now, a little bit of crap. Not literally. Hopefully.
Sam Cedar, Emma Vigland on the Majority Report. I want to welcome to the program Richard Slotkin, cultural critic, historian.
Listening to Majority Report, at least what I'm doing to be useful. Wake up, America. That's what I need to do. Wake up.
Of A Great Disorder, National Myth, The Battle for America. Richard, welcome to the
program. What am I doing?
Thank you very much.
I gotta get 30 points somehow.
Let's talk about the. Well, let's first start with the idea of myth. Yes. Generically speaking, what does a national myth or a national myth is part of the story here? What does that mean? Why do they exist?
Well, basically, a national myth is the stories that have been developed over time to explain the origins and the historical movement, historical direction of America, of any nation state, since most of them do have national myths.
I got 1 point.
It's a use of history to place people in a ongoing frame of collective action, collective belonging.
Does it come from a certain insecurity on some level? Because there's a quality of like backfilling and rationalizing historical things.
Just to step back for a second, the national myths really arise from crises in the development of a society, of a nation state. So you have a crisis like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War. It forces people to think, what is the society really all about? And so a story forms around that situation, which then is told and retold and elaborated and explained, and above all is used as an analogy for interpreting something that's happening in the present. Now, here, that's where the notion of insecurity comes in. That you resort to your myths, you need your myths when you're in some kind of crisis. You look for some kind of analogy to explain where you are. The example I like to use is Pearl Harbor. That when the Twin Towers were hit on 9/11, the first analogy that people brought up was Pearl Harbor. Well, Pearl Harbor is a story. A story is a myth. And once you know that you're in the framework of using Pearl Harbor as an analogy for your crisis, you know that it's a serious crisis, and you also know what you have to do about it, which is to say, go to war.
I mean, but the implication of a myth too is that part of it's not true, right? I mean that if there was an event that we all, as a society, experienced that was exclusively positive. I don't know if that's such a thing as possible, but let's say it was exclusively positive. Do you need a myth around it? Or is it like, you don't. Well, you need a myth. It's people are disposed to tell stories to explain things, and the stories that make up a national myth at the core, they have something that is true in the sense of fact. There was, in fact, an American Revolution. We did have a Western frontier.
That was terrible.
We did have what I call the good war. We had World War II that transformed the way America relates to the world. These are events that you make of those events.
That could have been more fun. They should have made the ramp steeper. Watching the balls go slowly down.
Like a fiction. That
made me sad.
Because 9/11 wasn't Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is Pearl Harbor. 9/11's 9/11. And that's where the fictional element comes in. But because there's
Happy New Year, Explorer.
It's a very credible fiction.
Well, it's also used.
This looks really boring.
I guess I could pose this as a question for you, Richard. Is this are myths there to serve?
The museum levels are not fun.
What the government wants to do in certain moments, mythologize the past, justify.
Absolutely. That is, it is there. It does. It's not there for that purpose. But
give me an amusement park. Don't give me a museum.
And according to one of the theories of nation-state formation, national myths were developed by the political classes that organized national government. So it is it is useful to those in power. But the story itself is the property of everyone who belongs to the culture. So, for example, you have the use of the Civil War in a crisis like the Charlottesville demonstration.
Well, there's weapons. They can attack each other.
Using the Lost Cause version.
I like it. It's so short.
Confederate flag.
Free money.
The other side invoking Abraham Lincoln and the war for the Union. The myth is a cultural property that can be used by any group. But I guess the core of what you're saying and what I'd like to do is it's political at its core. Whether it's being used by protesters and rebels or it's being used by the government, it's political at its core.
All right, let's get into the specific myths that you do talk about. The first is the myth of the frontier.
Right.
Walk us through what that myth is and why it was developed.
Okay, that's the first American myth, and it develops out of the fact that we are a settler state. The society begins
as
European colonies who grow and expand through the wilderness, over a course of about 300 years. They have a 300-year story of westward expansion. That is the core of the myth of the frontier. Now, in that story of expansion, there are two elements. One is an economic element, and that is the idea that America grows fantastically prosperous by exploiting new natural resources.
Jump like an idiot.
And that the the profits from that aren't simply small, but they're windfall profits. You go from being a colony of Great Britain to being the most powerful nation on the face of the earth in the space of less than 100 years. That's phenomenal growth. The second element in frontier myth is what I call savage war. And that is that to get the frontier, you have to displace the indigenous peoples. So at the core of this American idea of us as a westward expanding nation is an
There you
idea
go.
of race warfare.
I got all the things, I
And
think.
the primary distinction between
I liked
that
it.
is at the core of American nationality is
I
the
liked
distinction
it so much.
between white settlers and the non-white indigenous. That's the core of that myth.
And it occurs to me.
So
too that
I'm gonna
what
push
it
forward. I
does
think until we get the crown, or
is
maybe until we get like halfway to the crown. Because actually, now that I think about it, the crown is like real slow.
Oh, sure.
Because now I'm not getting 10 per. I'm not getting 10 crowns per level anymore. Now I'm getting 5 crowns per level, which is harder to deal with.
But what does that by defining the frontier that way? Does that in some way sort of like diminish or essentially? I want to say whitewash, but it really sort of like almost it's complete erasure of that sort of like contradiction that existed.
It certainly takes the settler point.
Can't wait to finish with this game.
Let's call it the orthodox version of myth. Is that version? Cowboys good, Indians bad.
Oh, me.
The other side of it is, remember, we're dealing with stories, right? And the frontier myth brings the indigenous peoples into the American story. At first as an opponent. But then, what I want to say, as an alternative. If you think about the romances of Fenimore Cooper, if you think of some of the recent films about Westerns that take the Native American point of view, it's available through the myth as an alternative to the way that we develop. And you can see as things go forward, when you question the growth economy, and when you question white supremacy, the Native American becomes a very important symbol.
I think at most I could do like 4 more levels or something of this.
And what I want to say, racial reciprocity rather than white supremacy. And see, the power of myth it partly relies in its simplicity, but its enduring power comes from its complexity. There's a contradiction in there, and that's what gives it its appeal and its power.
And so, what is its utility? I mean, I can, even today, I can see how it's like exploited to aggrandize, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Let's say. I mean, like they're, what is it? Come in and destroy everything and break things as to sort of like recreate a new frontier or something.
Right.
But what's been the utility of that through the years?
And mainly what you just said, that mainly it has rationalized the development of a corporate economy that's in which growth, which is to say profit, is the all important thing. There are alternative elements within the myth, but the dominant strain is certainly what I just said.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And growth is in part, you appropriating or extracting, or, someone pays price.
All right, I think I'm gonna stop after the next one.
Yeah, one of the
I'll be
other
halfway
things
to
that's
halfway to a crown.
is labor. The notion of profiting from you think about the great thing we like to put an oil bonanza or the fracking bonanza.
So one more.
It's a resource bonanza. You don't think about the labor that goes.
I'm exhausted. I've been playing this for 20 minutes. I didn't want to keep playing.
Helping you exploit the resource. Another classic example is
Fall Guys is killing me.
in the South.
I wanted a different video. This video is boring me. It's like myths are boring. SMI boring.
facilities. So will people call into question the veracity of his reporting? No, they won't, because people never want to go back on their previous, their prior biases that have been confirmed by Slopaganda, no matter how stupid it is.
Propaganda.
Major developments in Minnesota's fraud crisis, specifically related to child care.
We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it's freezing.
The next minute, and this for the record, is going to be finding any sort of issues with any number of different daycares, as long as it's like operated by a Somali person, and then hammering that on as though that was the major point, as though that was the real argument that they were conducting. So get ready for that as well. They're too stupid to recognize that there was already one daycare facility that was operated by one of the defendants in the previous investigation that had taken place. They're too stupid to know that one daycare facility was actually closed. Once they figure that out, they're going to be like, well, see? There's the proof. Again, their lack of interest or their lack
Whoa,
of
did you see that? That was pretty cool.
overarching lack of knowledge on this stuff. The overarching lack of interest and lack of knowledge on pre-existing investigations that have been conducted
Humiliation.
is how these guys get to make this seem like it's a totally new story, and also simultaneously expand on the target.
Child care funds for Minnesota after a YouTuber claimed to uncover fraudulent centers in a viral video. The state gets about $185 million in federal funds each year. Some of the featured child care
Give me that.
funds are not viral. This one says footage from their security cameras proves kids were present.
Alright, I'm done. Wow.
Can you imagine, like,
Cancel matchmaking. Quick game.
they have to be like,
Yes, please.
"See, there's children. The f are you talking about? Here's our security
I'm
footage."
just gonna put this crown on the Christmas tree and be done with it. This time, it's gonna be a real Christmas tree. Oh, crap.
Well, I didn't see the entire security
Not again.
the faces of every child that has walked in. I need to know what kind of finger painting initiative they engaged with. I need to know what kind of chicken nuggets they had. Was the middle of the chicken nugget cold? Was it too hot? I need to know all of it. Otherwise, I will not believe you. And it goes back to the dumbest guy you know saying, well, did you see it literally with your own
That was crazy
eyes?
money.
How can you believe anything if you don't personally experience?
That's not
Okay.
Okay.
It's not even about going back to the drawing board and explaining to people like how investigations are conducted and how court proceedings take place, how people get charged with a crime, people get arrested in the process. It's beyond that.
See, the multiplication of crown charge is no longer occurring. Instead of multiplying my growth on the fan pass. Once I finish the fan pass, that multiplication will go into the crown charge.
Everything to believe that it actually happened. That's not how information works. That's not how learning works. If we didn't do this, if the only stuff that we could believe,
I'm not really able to focus on my crown charge right now until I finish the fan pass off.
There would be thousands of years of knowledge that
alright.
we're relying on in order to expand on pre-existing technological improvements, for example. That's just not how this would work.
You want to make ready for kindergarten.
This is ABC Learning Center in Minneapolis.
Anyway, that's all, folks. Please
Director Ahmed Hassan gave WCCO a tour after finding his hair in the
like,
national
subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye
In a now
bye.
viral video, right-wing YouTuber Nick Shirley claims nearly a dozen daycare
Save
centers in Minnesota
recent
are taking public funds
gameplay
but not providing a service.
full
He says
video.
ABC Learning Center is